Your GM truck has a $12 part inside the engine. When that part fails, and it will, the repair bill is $6,000 to $8,000 at the dealership. GM knows this. They issued a Technical Service Bulletin in 2015 documenting the exact failure pattern. That bulletin was distributed to every GM dealership in America. It was never disclosed to you. They never recalled it. They just kept building this system into every Silverado, Sierra, Tahoe, and Suburban V8 they made until 2021, and cashing the repair tickets every time yours broke down. In 2007, General Motors introduced a system called Active Fuel Management, or AFM. It also goes by Displacement on Demand, or DOD. Different name. Same system. Same failure. Fuel savings. AFM shuts off 4 of your 8 cylinders at highway speed. Cylinders 1, 4, 6, and 7 go quiet. Less fuel burned. Better mileage. In EPA testing, the improvement measured between 5.5% and 7.5%. For a truck doing 15,000 miles a year at $4 a gallon, that saves you about $100 a year. Remember that number. Here is how AFM actually works inside your engine. The AFM lifters are different from standard lifters. They are hydraulic. They are controlled by oil pressure through a solenoid assembly that sits inside the valley cover, the cover bolted across the top of the engine between the cylinder banks. GM engineered all of this specifically to hit fuel economy numbers on paper, not to outlast the truck they sold you. When the system decides to deactivate a cylinder, oil pressure collapses those lifters. The cylinder stops firing. The engine runs on 4. When load increases, passing, towing, acceleration, the system is supposed to re-engage. Oil pressure reverses. Locking pins inside each lifter re-engage. The cylinder fires again. That is the theory. Here is what actually happens over time. Oil aeration. Air enters the engine oil, from high RPM operation, from extended oil change intervals, from cheap oil filters, from anything that introduces air bubbles into the lubrication system. That aerated oil reaches the AFM lifters. The internal locking pins do not fully engage. The lifter collapses, mechanically, physically, collapses, and gets stuck in the deactivated position. A collapsed lifter means the pushrod above it has nothing to push against. The pushrod bends. The bent pushrod contacts the camshaft, lobe at the wrong angle. The camshaft lobe starts wearing. Then the camshaft starts failing. That $12 AFM lifter takes the pushrods, the cam, and the entire valvetrain with it. This affects every Chevrolet Silverado 1500, GMC Sierra 1500, Chevrolet Tahoe, Chevrolet Suburban, GMC Yukon, GMC Yukon XL, and Cadillac Escalade with a 5.3-liter or 6.2-liter V8 engine built between 2007 and 2021. 14 years of trucks. Millions of vehicles, every one of them running the same engineered failure. The dealer repair bill, $600 to $8,500 for a full lifter and camshaft replacement. Full engine replacement, $8,500 to $10,000 or more. One documented case, a 2014 GMC, hit $10,000 at the dealer. $100 a year in fuel savings, $6,000 when it fails. That math was always GM's, not yours. And it gets worse. In 2015, General Motors issued Technical Service Bulletin number 150601002F. The title, Engine Misfire, Tick Noise, Malfunction Indicator Lamp Illuminated. The cause listed in that bulletin, an active fuel management lifter that is mechanically collapsed and stuck. Oil aeration, internal, locking pin damage, lifter stuck in the bore. GM described the exact failure in writing, the exact mechanism, the exact cause. They documented it, revised it in 2017, and distributed it to every authorized GM dealership in America. You never received a copy. There was no recall, no owner notification, no phone call, no letter in your mailbox. The bulletin went to the shops that profit from the repair. It did not go to the people paying for it. NHTSA has received over 10,000 complaints tied directly to GMs. AFM and DFM lifter failure. That number represents owners who took the specific step of filing a federal complaint. The actual failure count is far higher. In January 2026, NHTSA opened a separate investigation into the 6.2-liter L87 engine failures. This is not the original AFM. This is GM's own redesigned successor system, and it is failing the same way. NHTSA had to investigate GM's own fix. The class action lawsuit was filed June 29, 2022, in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan. It covers 2014 and newer Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC vehicles equipped with 5.3-liter, 6.0-liter, or 6.2-liter V8 engines running AFM or DFM. That case is still pending as of May 2026, not settled, still in court. In March 2026, GM attempted to split that case, to separate the AFM plaintiffs from the DFM plaintiffs and fight each group independently. A federal judge denied it. The consolidated case stays together. Hundreds of thousands of truck owners won. Unified lawsuit. One defendant. Here is the number that matters. If the 10,000 documented NHTSA complaints represent even 5% of actual engine failures, industry observers estimate. The real number is far higher, that is 200,000 engines. At an average repair cost of $7,000, that is $1.4 billion in dealer service revenue. Generated by a system GM built in. A system GM documented in 2015. A system GM kept installing until 2021. They knew. They revised the bulletin. They kept building. The only person in this equation who did not know was you. The mechanics who understand GM engines best started seeing these failures around 2012 and 2013. The earliest AFM trucks were coming out of warranty. The lifters were collapsing. The repair tickets were piling up. Those mechanics did not wait for a recall that was never coming. They went to work. The AFM delete has been in the diesel and performance truck community for over a decade. Remove the AFM solenoid lifters. Replace them with 16 standard lifters. Swap the valley cover. Replace the cam if it shows wear. Load a custom tune that removes AFM logic from the ECU. The solenoid system that caused the failure is gone permanently. The engine runs all 8 cylinders, all the time, the way it was supposed to. Parts cost $300 to $500 for a quality cam, 16 standard lifters, and a valley cover delete kit. Total cost with labor at a reputable independent shop, around $2,500 to $3,000. One-time fix. Permanent protection. No AFM lifter will ever collapse again because there is no AFM lifter left in the engine. If you are reading this in the comments right now and your truck still has AFM, drop your year and engine size below. Mechanics in this community will tell you exactly what they did to their own trucks. That is what this community is for. There is also a faster option for truck owners who want protection without a full engine tear down. Range technology makes an AFM and DFM disabler that plugs directly into your OBD2 port. Around $75. No tuning, no engine work. The device signals the ECU to keep all 8 cylinders firing all the time. The AFM system is still physically in the engine, but it never activates. The locking pins never have a chance to fail. One note on the plug-in device. In some states with emissions testing, it can interfere with OBD readiness monitors. If you are in California or another emissions test state, confirm your testing requirements before installing. The mechanical delete does not have this limitation. Mechanics across America are doing this on every GM V8 truck they personally own, not because they read about it, because they have seen the failed lifters. They have written the $8,000 repair tickets. They know exactly what GM built into that engine, and they want no part of it in their own trucks. This is not a fringe opinion. This is the professional consensus among the people who know these engines best. Here is exactly what to look for if you want a GM truck that does not have this problem. Option 1. Pre-2007 Silverado or Sierra. Any trim level, any cab style, the engine you want is the 5.3-liter LM7. Iron block. Gen 3 architecture. No AFM hardware of any kind. No solenoid lifters, no valley cover delete needed, no VLOM, no AFM calibration. This engine ran from 1999 through 2006 in Silverado and Sierra 1500 trucks, proven past 250,000 miles on regular maintenance. Mechanics hoard the clean ones. Also in that pre-2007 range, the 6.0-liter LQ4 and LQ9, found in higher trim 1500s and all the Silverado 2500s. From that era, no FM. Every cylinder fires every time. Mechanics who know this market buy every clean one they find. Option 2, 2007 through 2013 Silverado or Sierra with the 4.8-liter V8. Engine code LY2 or LC8. This was marketed as the base engine, the poverty spec option that dealers pushed buyers away from. Mechanics now call it the smart buy. No AFM hardware was ever installed in the 4.8-liter. Standard lifters, standard valley cover. It is documented. Reliability past 250,000 miles, and the repair community has never built a business around it failing. Option 3, 2007 through 2013 with the 6.2-liter V8, engine code L92. General Motors did not put AFM in the GMT 900 generation 6.2-liter. This engine was available in the higher trim Silverado and Sierra packages. Full 8-cylinder operation all the time. No solenoid lifters. No collapse risk. Option 4, and this one gets overlooked, the 2500 HD and 3500 HD trucks. Any year. Any engine. GM never installed AFM or DFM in the heavy-duty gas engines. If you need a capable work truck and can use a 3/4 ton or 1 ton platform, you have never been in the AFM trap at all. If you already own an AFM truck and you want to protect it, the years to avoid the worst failures are 2007 through 2009 and 2014 and 2021. Those years have documented additional defects stacked on top of the AFM problem. The 2018 model year is generally considered the most refined year of the affected generation. GM had addressed most of the secondary issues by then. For existing AFM trucks, change your oil every 5,000 miles. Use only Dexos 1 Gen 2 specification oil. Use a quality filter. And seriously consider the $75 range technology disabler or the full mechanical delete. You already paid for the truck. You should not have to fund the service department too. When you buy a GM truck, you are supposed to be buying a work vehicle, a tool, something built to last. Instead, from 2007 to 2021, you were buying a scheduled $6,000 repair, built in, documented, kept secret. The bulletin existed, the complaints existed, the lawsuit exists, and every year, GM kept installing the same system into new trucks rolling off the same assembly lines. Your truck should answer to you, not to a service bulletin they distributed to dealerships while keeping you in the dark, not to a failure they engineered for compliance numbers on paper while your engine paid the price in metal. What year is your Silverado or Sierra? Sound off in the comments. If you have had an AFM failure, the mileage, the cost, what you did about it, drop it below. This community is how truck owners find out what the dealers never tell them. Hit subscribe. Truck Truth HQ covers what the manufacturers document and the dealerships profit from, but nobody sends to the people actually driving these trucks. And the next video, the same playbook is running inside. Your diesel, a mandatory emissions component that fills with carbon, fails on a predictable schedule, and costs $2,500 to $3,500 every time it does. The EPA mandated it. The dealers profit from it. and the mechanics who know. Diesel Best have been quietly removing it for 15 years.